Hey guys, imagine dedicating your entire life to chasing a legend digging through centuries of myths, cryptic maps, and buried secrets. That's exactly what the Lagina brothers and their team have done. And now, in Season 12, they may have just uncovered the most important clue yet: a mysterious map, strange stone markers, and the possibility of multiple treasure caches buried beneath Oak Island. Could this be the breakthrough that finally cracks the island's code? Stick around, because what we're about to reveal might just change everything. It had been a while since the war room had been this full. The energy in the room was electric. Rick Lagina had called for an emergency meeting. He wasn't about to let this discovery go unnoticed. "We have to follow where the clues lead us," he stated firmly, his voice filled with urgency. Doug Krull, Judy Rudabush, and historian Terry DeVoe had spent days combing through dusty archives and forgotten records. What they found could rewrite Oak Island's history forever. Doug and Terry had traveled all the way to the Connecticut Museum of Culture and History. Why Connecticut? Because that's where the archives of William B. Goodwin, a historian and businessman from the 1930s, had been stored. Goodwin was obsessed with Oak Island, spending years gathering documents about the treasure hunts that had taken place there since 1795. Among those records was a map, but not just any map. The Blair Treasure Map. This map originally belonged to Frederick Blair, the same man who first documented the legendary chapel vault buried deep within the Money Pit in 1897. Somehow, it had ended up in Goodwin's notes. The map showed 3 specific stone markers on the western side of Oak Island. But here's the kicker: these weren't just random stones. They appeared to mark the locations of 3 separate buried treasure hoards. Rick Lagina leaned in, studying the faded notations. If this was real, if these markers still existed on the island, then they could be on the verge of the most significant discovery in the show's history. The team had one option: find those stones. Armed with metal detectors, shovels, and years of determination, the team set out. Their first target, a massive boulder near the beach. Gary Drayton, always the treasure hunting optimist, scanned the area. "Marty, I haven't hammered this area yet, but it's as rough as a badger's butt out here." Rough or not, they had a mission. After an exhausting search, they stumbled upon a large, flat stone. And right there, etched into its surface, was a massive X, a deliberate carving, unmistakable and eerily similar to the one depicted on the Goodwin map. "Guys, check this out," Gary called. Rick, Marty, and the rest of the team gathered around. Was this really one of the landmarks leading to buried treasure? There was only one way to find out. Gary ran his metal detector over the stone. The machine remained silent, no metal beneath it. No immediate sign of treasure. But this was just the beginning. According to Goodwin's notes, a second marker was supposed to have an X and square shapes carved into it. Trekking further into the island's thick terrain, the team searched. It wasn't long before they spotted another large stone, weathered, ancient-looking, and covered in moss. As they brushed the dirt away, their jaws dropped. The stone had a faint X, just like the map described. 3 stones, 3 separate locations. The map was proving to be very real. But there was one more marker to find, and this one, it was supposed to have been cleaved in half by lightning. A rock split by lightning? That seemed almost too specific, too legendary. But then, out of nowhere, they saw it: a massive boulder, cracked clean in 2, as if some powerful force had shattered it. If this was the final landmark, it meant they were standing right on top of something big. Gary's metal detector screamed to life: a loud, rapid vibration. A clear signal. He dropped to his knees, digging carefully. Within minutes, he held something in his hands: a forged iron spike. Not modern, not a random piece of scrap. This was old. 1,700 seconds old. Rick examined it closely. This changes everything. Could this be a tool used by the original treasure depositors? Had someone been digging here centuries ago? Was this proof that something valuable was buried beneath them? And if so, what else could be hiding just below the surface? The discovery of these markers and the relic from the 170s raises huge questions. Is the Goodwin map leading them to multiple buried treasures? Who left these stone markers behind, and why? and most importantly, what exactly is buried beneath Oak Island. With every new discovery, the mystery deepens. The Laginas and their team have more clues than ever before, and they're closer than they've ever been to uncovering the truth. Could Season 12 finally be the year the island's secrets are revealed? There's only one way to find out. If the Goodwin map is legitimate, it suggests that treasure isn't just buried in the infamous money pit, it may be hidden in several locations across Oak Island. This would support a long-standing theory that multiple groups, pirates, the Knights Templar, or even early European explorers, could have stashed their riches here at different times. Could it be that the island isn't home to just one legendary treasure but many? The idea isn't far-fetched. Over the years, discoveries of Spanish coins, medieval artifacts, and mysterious tunnels suggest that various groups may have visited the island, possibly hiding their wealth in different locations. If so, the 3 stone markers might not lead to just one treasure, but to 3 separate caches, each with its own unique story. With the markers confirmed, the next step is clear: excavation. But as every Oak Island veteran knows, digging on this cursed land isn't easy. The terrain is unpredictable, flooding is always a risk, and centuries of history have made it nearly impossible to determine what lies beneath without serious excavation equipment. Marty knows they can't afford to be reckless. We don't want to go in blind. If we start digging in the wrong place, we could destroy crucial evidence, he warns. That's why the team turns to modern technology: ground-penetrating radar, GPR, seismic testing, and drone imaging to get a better sense of what lies beneath the surface before they break ground. But just as excitement reaches its peak, an eerie realization sets in. The last time the team uncovered a major clue, tragedy struck. Hurricanes, freak accidents, and unexplained equipment failures seemed to follow them. The legend of the Oak Island curse states that 7 people must die before the island's greatest treasure is revealed. So far, 6 lives have been lost in the pursuit of Oak Island's secrets. Could the next excavation push the island closer to fulfilling this chilling prophecy? The team doesn't dwell on superstition, but there's no denying the island's dangerous past. The question remains: is Oak Island protecting something so valuable that it resists every attempt to uncover its secrets? Or are these just coincidences, adding to the island's already legendary status? Despite the risks, one thing is certain: the Lagina brothers aren't stopping now. They've come too far, invested too much, and are closer than ever before. If the Goodwin map is accurate, they could be standing directly above a treasure that has remained hidden for centuries. But even if they don't find gold or jewels, every discovery brings them one step closer to the truth. The carved stones, the iron artifact, the cryptic map, all prove that something significant happened on Oak Island long before modern treasure hunters arrived. Whether it was a secret society, shipwrecked explorers, or a group protecting sacred relics, someone went through great lengths to leave behind these clues. With anticipation building, the team must make a crucial decision: where do they dig first? The 3 markers point to different locations, and with time and resources limited, they need to prioritize. Rick, always driven by his gut feeling, believes they should follow the stones. If someone went through the trouble of marking these locations, they must have done it for a reason, he insists. Marty, the pragmatist, pushes for a more scientific approach. One thing's for sure: whatever decision they make next could change Oak Island's history forever. Will Season 12 finally be the season of discovery? Only time will tell.